75 years of automotive perfection is getting a makeover. Fresh from decades of perilous finances and faltering sales, and armed with a new owner, one of the world's most iconic brands is taking its best shot. A new design aimed at putting Jaguar back on top of the luxury car world. The Jaguar XJ, a car that's designed to fly.
It's the most aerodynamic Jaguar we've ever produced in the history of Jaguar.
An aerospace-inspired aluminium body, bonded with over 3,000 rivets, 150 meters of adhesive, and award-winning credentials.
It's a beautiful car. That's all I can say. It's just a beautiful car.
The next 75 years starts now, inside the Jaguar Mega Factory. There is one thing every Jaguar fan agrees on.
There's a lot of great cars in the world, but Jaguar has always made the best looking cars. In fact, a lot of the British cars were really sharp looking, but the Jaguar always had great designs.
And they're counting on a new design to put this endangered cat back on the map. After a string of owners and decades of decline, this iconic brand had lost its way. With the 21st century came 3 new models. The XF and the redesigned XK are launched. But it's the final part of this trilogy combined with new ownership that is giving Jaguar a chance to claw its way back to the top. This new model comes from the most unexpected of the Jaguar range. In 1968, the company launches a new top-of-the-range sedan. Aimed at the chauffeur-driven customer, the Jaguar XJ series is born. Standing for experimental Jaguar, it's much more than an experiment. Under the command of Jaguar design director Ian Callum, 20 in-house designers are tasked with creating a design for the new XJ.
What we want to do is just take it to a whole new level, a real sense of customization.
Preferred by a panel of luxury car customers for its sleek contemporary look, designer Adam Hatton wins the race.
I was fortunate enough to have my theme selected for the exterior design of the XJ. Over the last 4 years, I've been helping the team put the car from the first sketch into production and onto the road.
And it's more than just this year's model. The XJ embraces the classic Jaguar magic. Like every great Jaguar of the past, it starts with pen and paper.
What I do for the first kind of sketch of the car would be to set up the main kind of proportions. Every designer kind of draws cars differently. I always kind of start with the wheels and get the kind of base of the car in there properly, you know, just to set it up.
Adam's homage to the classic Jaguars is what sets his design apart. But to secure the brand's survival, this car has more than good looks. It has 21st century appeal, thanks to its aerospace-inspired technology. The XJ's aerodynamic body is made almost entirely from aluminium. Jaguar began using aluminium in its cars in the early 1900s, but not to this scale. The amount of recycled aluminium on the XJ is equivalent to 12,000 drink cans. The space-age frame combines the very best of automotive and aerospace production technologies. The streamlined body shell weighs in at around 329 kilograms, 66% lighter than it would be in steel. And it tops the scale on fuel efficiency, getting up to 100 kilometers on as little as 7 liters. Even with these impressive modern credentials, the new XJ looks to the past to secure its future. Craftsmanship is the key to Jaguar's past glory. But building a vehicle entirely by hand takes weeks, even months. Not an option when survival rests on sales. Handling the pace of mass production without compromising on quality takes modern-day teamwork between man and machine. This goal poses a new challenge for an old company. It begins with reinventing Jaguar's Castle Bromwich factory. Set in over 4,000 square meters, this site was once home to the legendary World War II Spitfire aircraft production lines. Now, it's a world leader in automotive manufacture.
It's always a challenge to develop the site strategy to make sure that everything fits as new models come along. But we can always find ways to optimise the layout, get the right facilities in the right areas, and to build the car as efficiently as we possibly can.
Richard Else is operations director. He oversees the entire plant. In his 20 years, he's seen a lot of changes.
20 years ago, Castle Bromwich was only actually a body and paint plant. It became an assembly plant about 12 years ago. And over the last 10 years, we've been rejuvenating the Jaguar brand and creating a new showroom for the three products that we have today. And Castle Bromwich has been at the heart of that revolution.
During this time, owners Ford invested heavily in state-of-the-art robotic technologies. Now these machines have a car to really sink their teeth into. But they can't do it alone. Guiding this company back to its former prominence needs the hand of human experience. Once a steel-only pressing plant, now a 9,600 square meter aluminium stamping works. Here, the XJ begins its life. 13 massive presses produce over 125 different parts. But aluminium brings its own challenges in production and design.
From my side of things, from designing the exterior shape of the car, aluminum is slightly more difficult to create forms and shapes, like as in razor sharp edges and lots of different crease lines.
Aluminium has around a third of the density of steel. This softer material restricts the range of options for a designer. But Adam lets the properties of this raw material and Jaguar's design legacy lead the way.
The thing is with Jaguar, we're really into design purity, so we like really vast, sort of clean, pure surfaces. Harks back to those great Jaguars of the 50s and 60s.
And the streamlining goes beyond the vehicle bodies. Named after the speedy cat, the XJ is designed to fly.
It's the most aerodynamic Jaguar we've ever produced in the history of Jaguar, so we're very pleased about that. And what that does is obviously gives good fuel economy, low CO2 emissions, and excellent high-speed stability.
A car uses power to overcome drag, the effect of air passing over the vehicle as it moves. The heavier the car, the more power needed to push through this force. This effort burns up fuel. It's like driving through invisible soup. Reduce the drag, and you increase the speed and improve fuel consumption. To further hone this performance, the car needs to lose weight. That's why steel body parts are being replaced with aluminium. And the panel emerges flawless. At least it appears that way. But on the XJ, nothing is left to chance. Before these panels leave the shop, They are thoroughly tested. Probes measure the surface across hundreds of points, making sure it's exactly the right shape. Aluminium may be feather light. One door panel weighs just 10.5 kilograms, 3 times less than its steel counterpart. But this material is still as tough as an ox. And that comes back to the design.
I've worked with the engineers to make the panels actually incredibly strong. So you can see here, for example, we have, nice shaped bonnet bulge here and all these forms over the headlamps. But what they also do, apart from being attractive, is they give very high strength to the actual panel itself.
Once formed, aluminium combines strength with flexibility, allowing it to spring back from shock or impact.
So by putting these forms and shapes into the panels, it makes the panels incredibly strong as well.
This new high-tech vehicle is a world apart from the early Jags. But it's still fulfilling a vision that Jaguar's founder, Sir William Lyons, had over 50 years ago. He believed that aerodynamic efficiency was the key to performance. The XJ has brought this vision to life. On the other side of the plant, robots construct more components. Doors, boot lids, and bonnets. And these robots are multitasking. A single robot grabs a panel and attaches it to a jig. Then it changes tools to add adhesive or rivets. It's a mechanical ballet. Each design in perfect harmony. Before the next lap, it's time for a pit stop. The machines have proven their worth, but the gods of performance lie in the details. That demands the human touch. The car may be streamlined, but the name of this stage isn't. The Body Shell Less Doors Takeout Station. Framing line quality inspector John Carter's job is to make sure the robots are doing theirs.
So what I'll do is I'll check that everybody has done their job by tightening these up. What I'll do is I'll actually just move it, and I know if there's a bolt loose, anything, earth, anything, and I'll just check them all, go round.
He's a man with a lot of power. Any defects and the production line stops.
So if I find these rivets are not 100%, I know exactly what robot they come from, and I can bring maintenance in, and we can actually go in and we can have a look at that robot.
Machines alone can never make a Jaguar.
Most of this is done by hand, the robots are involved, but a lot of it is taken care of. It's time and care. We take care on doing it. It's lovely.
John is so proud of his work. He even invites customers to tour his station.
We like to satisfy the customer that they're getting a good car. They're getting a good car and we're putting the effort in. This is our jobs, and we want to show them this is how good we can build a car, and this is what we want to do. We love it. We all love doing it. That's why, and then we love the customer to see what we can do.
On its journey through the plant, each car has its own travel card. It's like a detailed biography of the vehicle. Everything is recorded, from left or right-hand drive, to information on which robot punched the rivets.
If we do have a problem, we have a travel card, which what we do is, we fill in a travel card. This car then won't move until someone's signed off the travel card. And as you can see, it's blank. This car's come down the line without no problem at all. So it's blank. So these travel cards will follow the car all the way out to and we will keep these for the life of the car.
No defects on this vehicle.
Now I'm happy for this car to go back into the system. Everything on it is perfect in my book. It's a good car. This is what I'd buy.
slow-moving conveyor belt carries partly finished frames through the next build stages. Robots have perfected the dull and repetitive work. Now it's time for the classic Jaguar touch. And for that, human craftsmen take over. As soon as the doors are on, a weight placed where the window sits represents the exact weight of the glass and electrics in the final assembly. They measure and remeasure every joint and gap using a small tool and sleight of hand. It's millimetre accurate.
Basically, getting the same gap all the way along, and it's just 3.5 mil from top to bottom, and a push at the top there. So make sure that that's right there, and it's right there, so that's nice and flush.
Any discrepancies are gently tapped into position. Just 4 minutes later, doors are on, bolts are fixed, and the journey continues. Dozens of cars feed through this line each day. John makes it look easy, but his 27 years' experience ensures that each vehicle leaves this station exactly as the designer ordered. A lightweight aluminium frame, perfectly aerodynamic in form. Could be a sales pitch for a new aircraft. But this bird has to stay grounded. To achieve this, car designers used the reverse theory of aeroplane wings.
It's the same principles really, but instead of on an aeroplane you using the air to try and make the plane lift on takeoff or whatever, we're trying to obviously make the car stick to the road.
A small flick at the back of the car separates the air from the vehicle.
What you're trying to do on the car aerodynamically is have the air stick to the car, basically flow all the way along the car, and then come off really cleanly, so they call it the separation points. That's part of the reason we have this little flick here on the rear deck, because the air comes over the coupe roof line and then it comes to the end and really cleanly separates off from here.
And this is balanced at the front.
This is in exactly the right place to balance exactly where the lip is on the rear. So the car is always incredibly stable, and for a car like a Jaguar, it has to have the best on-road stability in the world. And that's what this car has.